Music dropped. Okay. Welcome everyone. Bienvenidos, todos. Welcome everyone to the El Toro La Liga show today. Obviously, I got myself a bit of coffee. Woke up a bit late today. But big up everyone. Obviously, this is game week 4, episode 4 of the El Toro La Liga show, whereby I preview the games and all. And yeah, there's a lot to talk about. Obviously, we just had the international break. La Liga starts up back again tonight, actually, with the game we'll talk about in like a few seconds. But yes, before we get started, please do hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and obviously let me know your predictions for the game week 4, which is, you could kind of say it's the start of the season, more or less, somewhat. But now let's get on to the show. All right. So the first game we have is Sevilla against Elche. Now, obviously, both of these sides have been on and off. Sevilla, obviously, not a good start, but they did win the last game week against Girona. Elche have picked up 5 points, so they've actually been unbeaten in 3 games. Win probability 53% Sevilla, 27% for a draw, and 20% for Elche win. Now, it's still a bit too early to look at the table. Elche in 7th, as I said, on 5 points, and Sevilla in 12th on 3 points, but it's still pretty early days. So some insights. Sevilla have not lost any of the last 21 home games against Elche, so a really good record they have. So yeah, Elche have only managed 1 win in the 26 away games against Sevilla, and that was back in 1967. Like, that's a long time, obviously, and that was not even in La Liga as well. It was in the Copa del Rey. Elche have lost each of the last 5 away games against Sevilla in all competitions, failing to score in the last 4, which is actually the worst run yet. Following the victory against Girona last game week, Sevilla have the chance to win back-to-back games since March and April 2024, which is about a year and a half ago. So it's been a while since Sevilla have actually gone back-to-back wins in La Liga. Elche have started the La Liga season without the defeat in their first 3, for only the second time, and the last time being in 68-69, one of my favorite numbers. But yeah, my prediction for this game, obviously, it's tonight. I don't know. Elche have started the season very well. Sevilla, I'm just not fully sure about them, but I will go for a draw. But I might go with a goalless draw, and I will go 0-0 in this game, which I think is not the worst for either team. So 0-0. All right. And then next up we have is Getafe against Real Oviedo. Now, Getafe have been okay to start the season. Real Oviedo have finally won the first game in La Liga. They beat Real Sociedad a couple weeks ago now, which is a huge win. Obviously, you can see from the thumbnail, Leander de Donker scoring the winning goal for Real Oviedo. And it's a, very, very good achievement by Oviedo. Now, obviously, 48% Getafe win, 31% for a draw, 21% for Oviedo. But I do think that win against Sociedad will give Oviedo some confidence. I know that win was at home, but Getafe are no slouches, obviously. Getafe started the season well. However, obviously, transfer deadline day, Uche, who was at the moment Getafe's top goal scorer, has now left the club, which now means that I believe he went to Wolves. I might be mistaken. Getafe are without him now. Meanwhile, Oviedo, look, they're just trying to adjust to La Liga. They're down in 15th and only 3 points, but they have picked up a win. Not even fucking Celta or Sociedad have picked up wins yet. So it's a pretty good start by their own standards, Oviedo. And this game's obviously early tomorrow. This is the first meeting between Getafe and Real Oviedo in La Liga. very first time, the Azulones have lost one of the last 4 games against Oviedo, 2 wins and a draw, and that was back in 2017 when they were actually in the Segunda, both of them. This will be Getafe's third home game against Real Oviedo in all competitions, and they have been unbeaten against them in the past 2. Real Oviedo will be the 41st opponent Getafe have faced in La Liga. All right, that's a pretty good stat there, I guess. Getafe have lost the last 5 La Liga home games, the worst run of consecutive home defeats in their history. That's not great. And with their victory over Sociedad, they have secured the. I don't know why. That was actually the first win in 24 years, I believe, for Real Oviedo winning in La Liga. So, my predictions for this game, I struggle to decide on a winner here because I do think a team will win this game. Getafe, not a good game in the past game week, but Oviedo at least won a game, so really good performance and result for them. However, I might have to go with Oviedo. Actually, no, I might go with Getafe. I might go 1-0 Getafe. I don't know. Maybe just a slight quality edge for Getafe. 1-0 Getafe. Next up, we have is Real Sociedad against Real Madrid. And obviously big up to the chat. Brawl Lover, good day, mate. I hope you're doing well. I got myself a bit of coffee as well because I woke up late. And you are saying it will be a draw for me. Oviedo will do well. I hope. I mean, I changed my mind. I said Getafe win 1-0, but I would love to see the even northwest clubs. So apart from Celta Vigo doing well. So I do have a soft spot for Oviedo. I know a couple people actually from Oviedo. But yeah, Real Sociedad against Real Madrid. Oh, I don't know why I messed that whole thing up. Jesus Christ. Okay. But yeah, Real Sociedad against Real Madrid. Obviously, Real Madrid are coming off of a very good start to their campaign. Sociedad, on the other end of that, have yet to win. Look, win probability 18%. Sociedad win, 22% for a draw, and 60% for Real Madrid. Look, obviously, these two played on the final day of the season. I think Real Madrid won. But look, Real Madrid top of the table, joint top with Athletic Club, basically the rivals of Sociedad. But Real Madrid, I'll be honest, people are saying, oh, Real Madrid haven't started well this season. Mate, how they not started well, but then they're top of the league, you know? I just feel there's a little bit disrespect on Real Madrid as much as I don't like Real Madrid, okay? Whereas Sociedad, look, I said they would be finishing in the top 4. Right now, it's not looking good. It's not looking very good. They're down there in 16th with only 2 points, so not a good start for them. Obviously, Real Sociedad have lost the last 4 La Liga games against Real Madrid, failing to score in the last 3. Real Madrid have won 12 of the 21 games played at the Anoeta, which is a stadium of Real Sociedad, in the 21st century. All right, that's pretty decent, I guess, with 3 draws and 6 losses being part of that record. Real Madrid have kept a clean sheet in the last 3 La Liga matches against Sociedad. I mean, that's what we knew before. Real Sociedad have picked up just 2 points so far this season, the worst start to league season since Moise in 2015-16. And finally, Real Madrid have won the last 6 La Liga matches, keeping a clean sheet. Obviously, that being 3 this season and 3 last season. The last time they didn't keep a clean sheet was the loss, actually, against Barcelona 4-3, I think it was. One of the final games of the season. Prediction, look, I said Real Madrid have started the season well. There's no injury concerns, and obviously Real Madrid are preparing to start the Champions League campaign on Tuesday. My prediction for this, I think Real Madrid will will win. I think it might just be like a solitary 1-0 win, another low scoring game. Obviously, I would love to see like a 4-4 like it was in the Copa del Rey semifinal, but I'll go 1-0 Real Madrid, maybe like Kylian Mbappe scoring. So that's my prediction for that. Now, we do have a little bit of a Basque derby coming up. Let me just get it sorted here. Yeah, we do have a bit of a Basque derby between Athletic Club and Alavés. Brawl Lover says, and sadly for Madrid, well, yeah, I'll say 1-0. But of course, I would love to see Real Madrid lose, but I just think people are kind of disrespecting them as much as I don't like, and I'm assuming you don't like Real Madrid, so yeah. But yeah, we do have a Basque derby. It's not really a huge derby, but it is between two Basque clubs, Athletic Club against Alavés. Now, I just feel like Athletic Club, as you saw on the table, currently top of the league. Alavés have been okay, a win and a draw and a loss, I believe, even though I said they would be like one of the surprise package this season. But yeah, I just feel like Athletic Club have started the season well. However, Nico Williams is injured, so that might cause some concerns there. However, Athletic Club, if you saw Laporte, actually, there's been a few developments player-wise for Athletic Club. Obviously, I just said about Nico. Yuray Alvarez has been suspended until April, I believe, due to a drugs test. So he's suspended for practically the majority of the season. He won't be back at least until start of April. So his season is kind of over somewhat. But Aymeric Laporte has actually moved to Athletic Club. So FIFA has approved his move. I don't know if he's registered in time for this game. But Athletic Club have won 4 of the last 6 games against Alavés, drawing the other 2. Alavés have scored in the last 5 visits to Athletic Club in La Liga, a draw and 4 losses. Athletic Club have won their last 7 Basque derbies at home and can make it 8 in a row in La Liga history. So they can do that. Alavés have won 1 of the last 9 away derbies in La Liga. In La Liga. Though they did beat Sociedad last season away 2-1 last season. Athletic Club have won their first 3 games in La Liga and have never won 4 in a row ever in La Liga. And finally, Alavés have lost 2 of the last 3 La Liga away games, twice as many defeats in the previous 9. Look, Athletic Club have started the season well, though it's only one goal margin victories. But I don't know. For me, I just feel like between these two sides, I don't know. I might actually go with a bit of a shock here. In terms of that preparation for the Champions League as well, Athletic Club are playing the opening game, basically, against Arsenal, early kickoff on Tuesday. And I don't know if they have their eye on that game, trying to rest some players. Obviously, big night for them on Tuesday. I have to go with Alavés. I don't know. I'm kind of on this Alavés hype train early on. I will go 2-1 Alavés. Let's go. 2-1 Alavés. So that's my prediction there. We'll find out. We'll find out if it actually happens. But next we do have is Atletico Madrid against Villarreal. Obviously, both of these sides in very contrasting form. Atletico Madrid and Villarreal. Obviously, Villarreal have started the season very well. Atletico Madrid, not good. However, win probability 53% Madrid. Atleti win. 25% for a draw, 22% for a Villarreal win. However, I do think it should be a little bit higher percentage for Villarreal, I feel like. Look, had they beaten Celta, but didn't. Villarreal are actually the top goal scorers. 8 goals so far in La Liga after 3 games. Obviously, I've been impressed by them. I thought they wouldn't be as good as they were last season, but look where they are now. And they're going into that Champions League campaign. Actually, both teams are actually playing in the Champions League. So big eyes looking out for them. Atletico are as far down as joint 16th, 17th around the relegation zone. I don't think they'll be down there by the end of the season or even by like end of October, but we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, in terms of the timeline or some of the stats heading into the game, Atletico have not lost any of the last 5 matches against Villarreal, 2 wins and 3 draws in the past few games. So pretty decent record against the Yellow Submarine. Villarreal have picked up points in 8 of the last 11 away games against Atletico. 3 wins, 5 draws, 3 losses. All right, that's pretty decent. Atletico have conceded at least 1 goal in each of the last 8 La Liga matches against Villarreal, 13 in total. So they are prone. Atletico have not won any of the last 3 La Liga games. The worst start under, technically, Diego Simeone. It's his worst start as manager. Villarreal have not lost any of the last 9 La Liga matches, 8 wins and 1 draw, which did help them get into the Champions League in 5th place, the extra Champions League spot that Spanish clubs get. So, my prediction for this game, I've just been really impressed with Villarreal. Obviously, they travel to London. They play Tottenham Hotspur on Tuesday, the normal time kickoff, 9 p.m. Spain time. Atletico play away at Liverpool. Both teams are actually going to England. Atletico are going to play Liverpool at Anfield, which I'm a bit worried about that for Atleti. But I think Villarreal could get a result here. I think they'll continue doing well this season. Now that I've seen how well they've done in the past 3 games, I'm actually going with a Villarreal win. Let's go with a bit of a fun game. I'm going 3-2 Villarreal. 3-2. That's my prediction for that game. Next up, oh God, I have to preview this. Jesus Christ. But yes, next game we have is Celta Vigo against Girona. Now, both of these teams have been absolutely terrible so far. 57% Celta Vigo win, 23% for a draw, 20% for a Girona win. Celta Vigo, you have to scroll all the way down, 14th. There they are. After 4 games as well, because they don't play the midweek game in game week 6, I believe, or 7. I'm not sure. I think it's 6. So yeah, it's not good at the moment for Celta. 3 draws in the past 3 games, and they lost the first home game of the season. Girona, meanwhile, have lost every game, conceding 10 goals and scoring only once, which is actually the worst start. And I do fear for them now. In terms of that, Celta Vigo have not won any of the last 5 matches against Girona, 3 draws and 2 losses. So Girona, this is like a good shot, you know. After winning 2 of the first 4 away games against Celta Vigo, Girona have only won 1 in the last 6 visits against Celta back in the 23-24 season when they were really good. Celta Vigo have not won any of the last 4 La Liga games, which is actually a really bad start they have. The worst since 21-22 season, 1 draw and 4 losses. Celta Vigo have drawn each of the last 3 La Liga games, 1-1 in all of them, and they've only done that in 2006, actually, 5 in a row. Girona have lost the last 5 La Liga matches, including the 3 this season, which is the worst start in La Liga. And although none of the last 3 teams to start the La Liga campaign with 3 defeats in the first 3 games actually ended up being relegated. So they actually survived. Cadiz in 23, Sevilla in 24, and Valencia in 25. So it's actually been okay-ish. But look, as much as I want Celta to lose, I think they're going to win. I'm going 2-0. 2-0 for Celta Vigo. 2-0 is my prediction for the Sunday early kickoff game. Next up, we have is Levante against Betis. Let me just sort it out. All right. So Levante against Betis. Look, both teams are looking to kind of continue the improvement. Levante have lost all 3 games, but they've been alright, like not bad overall. Betis, on and off, I would say, win, draw, loss. For them, if you see, I actually, yeah, because they've played 4 games, 1 win, 2 draws, 1 loss. Levante, along with Girona, have lost their 3 games so far, but they had to play Barcelona and all. But win probability 42% Betis for the away team, 29 for a draw, 29 for Levante win. Levante have won 3 of the last 4 home games against Betis, so they have a pretty good record, scoring exactly 4 goals in those 3 victories. So this seems like it could be a high scoring game. Real Betis have won their last 3 games in La Liga against Levante, and only once managed consecutive wins, with 5 in 2014-18. Levante have won 9 of the last 28 games against Betis. Only against Sociedad they have achieved more victories in the top flight. Levante have not lost the first 3 games in La Liga. Have lost the first 3 games of La Liga for the second time since 2010-11. Betis have scored in each of the last 11 away games in La Liga, the best run in a while, actually, 97. So my prediction here, look, I want it to be a high-scoring game. I think it could be a high-scoring game. I think both teams will go at each other. Why not? I will say 4-3 Levante. I'm actually going with the home side. Levante, 4-3 win. Let's go. 4-3 is my prediction for Levante to win. All right, and then next up, oh geez, let me sort this out. Next up we have here is Osasuna against Rayo Vallecano, and big up to Sebastian as well. You're saying Betis to win, fair enough. The goal. Oh, they do have the goal. I just remembered. But yeah, Osasuna against Rayo Vallecano is the next game to preview. Look, both teams okay-ish, I would say. Look, it's very even. Osasuna 37% win, 30% for a draw, 33% for Vallecano win. Now, if you look here, Rayo Vallecano, a win, draw, and a loss. But I'll be honest, they should have beaten Barcelona, I'll be honest. Osasuna, on and off, 1 win and a loss. Actually, they've won or lost 1-0 in their past 3 games. 2 1-0 losses and 1 1-0 win. So yeah, it seems quite even actually, this matchup. Osasuna have not won any of the last 3 games against Rayo Vallecano, a draw and 2 losses, which is the worst run against them. Rayo Vallecano have won only 1 of the last 13 La Liga away games against Osasuna, that being way back in 2003. Osasuna have scored in each of the last 8 matches against Rayo Vallecano, so they at least score goals against them. Osasuna have won their last 5 games at El Sadar in La Liga, keeping a clean sheet in their last 4, so they do have an okay record. And finally, Rayo Vallecano have won 5 of the last 10 away games in La Liga, including the opening game of the season as well against Girona, I believe it was. So my prediction for this game, I think Osasuna will bounce back, and I'm going with a 1-0. I'll go 1-0 Osasuna win. That'll be my prediction. Yeah. Next up we have is FC Barcelona against Valencia. Obviously, Barcelona, Valencia. Look, actually, this is technically the first home game of Barcelona. I completely forgot that this is actually the first home game as well. And it's not even played at the Montjuic or the Nou Camp Nou. It's actually played at the Estadi Johan Cruyff, which is a really small stadium in Barcelona, I believe. I've never been, so I don't know. But yeah, first home game for Barcelona. 8% for a Barcelona win, 12% for a draw, 8% win for Valencia. I'll be honest, look, Barcelona started the season all right, though there are some question marks about them, but I have to be a bit humble because Newcastle United are playing Barcelona on Thursday. In less than a week, we are playing them, and I want them in the bad state or whatever. But that's for another time. Obviously, you can check out my preview with Charlie, the Year of the Bird podcast or show yesterday on both his and my channel. You can watch back my preview on that. But yeah, Barcelona, 7 points out of 9. Not really bad, though they should have lost to Rayo Vallecano. Valencia, draw, loss, but they did get a win against Getafe in the game 2 weeks ago. So yeah, Barcelona has one of the best records against Los Che or Valencia. 8 wins, 2 draws. Look, Valencia have conceded at least 1 goal in the last 21 away games against Barcelona. 16. They've conceded at least 2.8 per game in those 21 away games. The last time they did it was a win under Rafa Benitez. Barcelona won 7-1 in the last home game against Valencia in La Liga. The biggest ever win against Los Che in the competition. Look, I don't think it will be 7-1, but they also did play in the Copa del Rey and won like 5-0, I think. Look, Valencia just has one of the worst records away at Barcelona. Even though it's not the same stadium and all that, I just think they'll come clutch here, Barcelona, and just pile on. But actually, Valencia have been really good under Carlos Corberán since he joined them in 2025 from West Bromwich Albion. So, yeah. Look, I just don't see Valencia winning this game. Though I want them to do well. But I think Barcelona will get a win. I'm going with a 4-0, actually. I'm going 4-0 to kind of give themselves a lot of good grace heading into that Newcastle game. So I'm giving Barcelona a 4-0 win against Valencia. But I would love Valencia to prove me wrong. But I just don't see it at the moment. And the final La Liga game on Monday Night Football we have is Espanyol against Mallorca. Obviously, both these sides okay. Well, actually, Espanyol have a very good start to the season. 44% Espanyol win probability, 29% for a draw, 27% for a Mallorca win. As you can see, Espanyol unbeaten. They've actually has started the season very well. Obviously, if you remember, beat Athletic opening day of the season. And since then, kind of actually carried on a really good run of form, actually, which I wasn't expecting, actually. Meanwhile, Mallorca, not really in a good spot. Currently in the relegation zone, only a draw so far this season and 2 losses. But I think they have played tough opponents. They've played Barcelona and Real Madrid, and that's actually the 2 losses. So I don't think there's much to look into that because I think Mallorca, especially against Real Madrid, were okay in stages. I think actually took the lead in that game as well. So I'm not too fussed about how poor of the start they've had. Espanyol have won their last 6 games at home against Mallorca in La Liga, the best consecutive home win record against Mallorca or any opponent. Following the victory in March 2025, Mallorca could achieve consecutive wins against Espanyol for the first time since August 2011. So it's been a while. Espanyol have lost 6 of 6 and drawn 1 of the last 7 games played on a Monday, so they actually don't have a good record on Mondays. So that might be something. Espanyol have won 7 points so far this season, the best tally since 2008-2009 actually, which was also 7 points. Mallorca have not won any of the last 6 La Liga games, 2 draws and 4 losses. The worst run under the manager Jacobo Arrasate. Sorry. Look, I just feel like Espanyol have done well this season, but I think Mallorca, look, they had already played Barcelona and Real Madrid, and those were the two losses. I think they'll put up a good fight here. I think Mallorca. I'll go with a 1-1 draw. That'll be my prediction for that game. So now, people. Oh, I need to sort it out. I'll sort it out. Now, people, it is time for the El Toro de la Semana, the bowl of the week, not the goat with Anthony. But yeah, who is the bowl of the week or the El Toro de la Semana? So, my pick is. I know he didn't win and he actually didn't keep a clean sheet, but I'm actually going with Juan Garcia. Mainly because just need to sort this out, and it's mainly because of his performance against Rayo Vallecano. He kept Barcelona in that game and secured the point for them. So yeah, Juan Garcia has joined Nico Williams and Tajan Buchanan so far as the Los Toros de la Semana. So yeah, pretty good for him to join that coveted list by me. But now it's time to kind of review the Segunda, and actually there's been 2 match days since the last game week. We'll first start off with the game week 3 games. So just let me zoom in so that you can see. So this was 2 weeks ago, match day 3. You had Real Sociedad drawing 2-2 against Almeria. You have Sporting Gijon at the time continuing the winning run, beating Leonesa. You had Racing Santander destroying Quetta at home. You have Valladolid Cordoba 0-0. You had Castellón 1, Zaragoza 1. Andorra beating Burgos, which is, I'd say, a bit surprising. 2-1 there. Cadiz did beat Albacete 2-1. Malaga got a big win away at Las Palmas. Mirandes finally got off to the first win of the season, beating Granada 2-1 away. Huesca 2-1 win over Eibar. And on Monday, well, almost about 2 weeks ago, Deportivo La Coruña, we were 2-0 down against Leganes. And we draw that game 2-2. I will do a show with Charlie La Pina Rosa on Monday, reviewing that game and our game this past weekend. But yeah, 2-2 draw, not the worst result, I'll be honest, for Depor. I'll be honest. But yeah, that's how I feel about that. But the game week 4, the one just this past weekend, because even during the international break, the Segunda still plays on. We had Mirandes continuing with that win from Granada, beating Albacete this time 4-1 away. You had Cordoba beating Castellón 2-1. And this one, I was really happy. We beat Sporting Gijon, Depor. We beat Sporting Gijon 1-0, last minute goal. Bafia getting the goal for us in a very crucial win, because I did not want to see us draw 3 games in a row, So we finally got a win, and it was actually Sporting Gijon's first time dropping points this season. And you'll see the table in a bit. Zaragoza 1, Valladolid 1. You also have Malaga 1, Granada, actually 2-2, not 1-1. I actually did watch that game on TV as well. It's a pretty decent game, 2-2. Quetta actually being Huesca, which is actually the first win of the season, Quetta. So big up to them, the team from North Africa. Sociedad B drawing 3-3 against Cadiz in that one. Burgos, Las Palmas 0-0, so Las Palmas not really been a good spot right now. Racing Santander were 2-0 down against Almeria. Almeria were 2-0 up, then went down to 10 men, and then eventually Racing Santander scored 3 goals. And Racing Santander have been really entertaining to watch. I hope they go back up to La Liga this time around. Leonesa, Leganes 0-0, but Leonesa finally got their first point of the season, and finally Eibar beat Andorra. Now, just some games to look forward to obviously, tonight you have Las Palmas against Sociedad B. For Deport, we play Mirandes. What do you call this? Away at Miranda de Ebro. Prediction for that game for me. Look, Mirandes have started the season, well, kind of started the season bad, but now picked up 2 wins in a row. But we have been unbeaten so far, Depor. I might go with a draw. I'll go. I actually might go 1-1 for us. Cadiz against Eibar, Huesca against Malaga, Valladolid against Almeria. You have Andorra against Cordoba. You have Santander against Leonesa. You have Gijon against Burgos, Castellón against Creta, Granada against Leganes, and Monday night, Zaragoza against Albacete. So those are the games for this coming weekend. Now, if you look at the tail of the table of the Segunda, let me just let you guys see it. Hopefully, all right. So as I said, the top 6 are minimum playoff at the moment, and the top 2 is automatic promotion. And so far, in the automatic spots, you have Racing Santander and Sporting Gijón, a team from Cantabria, a team from Asturias. But look, Santander already 13 goals this season. They are probably the highest goals. They actually are the probably joint. They are the top goal scorers so far in the Segunda or La Liga, high promotion, or for most people, hypertension. But yeah, they've started the season very well, and they play Leonesa. They should win that, especially at home at El Sadero. Gijón, all right, but they did lose to us. Valladolid, Deportivo La Coruña, Cadiz, and Malaga are the teams currently in the playoff spot, but very early, all on 8 points. And then when you scroll down, you have Eibar on 7, Andorra on 7, Huesca on 7. Miranda is finally picking up. They're on 6 points. You have Burgos, Las Palmas, Almeria, and Real Sociedad B. All of them are on 5 points after 4 games. You also have Leganes, 4 draws in a row. 4 draws in a row. Could they do it 5 in a row when they play Granada this coming weekend? Who knows? Cordoba also on 4 points, but at least they won a game. Creta, 3 points for them because they finally got their first win. And they sort of, along with Leganes, the winless teams. You have Zaragoza on 2 points. And the bottom 4, which is the relegation zone, the bottom 4 is relegation. You have Castellón, Albacete, surprisingly for maybe for a lot of you guys, Granada, and Leonesa, newly promoted. Leonesa not in a good shape at the moment. But yeah, that is basically it for the show, actually. It's been a really good show, obviously. And big up to everyone that has joined the live chat at any point so far. Look, it's looking forward to the games this week. And obviously, as I said, because I'm doing this now on Friday, 3 p.m. Spain time or 2 p.m. UK or whatever time zone you are, top of the morning to you. Obviously, Jesus. Okay, I'm not dying. But yeah, I'm doing this show every Friday, 3 p.m. Spain time. Obviously, what can you expect on the channel? Well, obviously, I will be doing my La Piña Rosa show that will come back on Monday. I will be doing the Year of the Bird with Charlie from Charlie's Takes on Friday, 9 p.m. Spain time or 8 p.m. UK time, discussing Tottenham Hotspur and Newcastle, and obviously reviewing the Champions League games and all that. And obviously, I do my El Toro La Liga show, obviously, now on Fridays at 3 p.m. before that. So yeah, looking forward to the season really starting off, really. This is like the start of the season for me, I'll be honest, as both a Newcastle fan and somewhat a Depor fan. But yeah, looking forward to the rest of the season. Lots of games in La Liga. And yeah, big up to everyone. And I will see you guys on Monday. Also, I will be putting out a video on probably Monday or Tuesday regarding Champions League. So I'll see you guys in that. So yeah, big up to everyone. Hit the like button on this stream, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.